And it looks like Griffith does change his color to red. For no reason other than the fact that he likes red.
It's alright. It's like the opposite of what I do, I guess. He wants just to be cool and clash with the map colors.
Yeah, he might have just had it automatically change to red since he was spectator and then they moved him up.
That's true.
Okay, so we do have them spawning close positions. We do have Griffith spawning in the 12 o'clock position and EZO spawning in the 9 o'clock position. Griffith is ahead 1-0 with a pretty one-sided win over Anonymous in the last matchup.
He definitely had control of that game to its entirety. There was absolutely not one point where he was even looking like he could potentially have a loss. And now with these close positions on meta, it's going to be very, very rough for Anonymous to come back. And once he scouts at their close positions, I'm sure it's going to shake him a little bit mentally.
Yeah, I think that, I think Anonymous pretty much did all that he could do to play that match. There wasn't really so much that he could have done other than, I don't know. It seems like that build is just so good and it's so hard to defend against. The only thing he could have done differently, maybe get some infestors, try and get some fungal growth on those marines so that way they can't micro their way back to the marines. I mean to the tanks. That would probably be his best bet if he sees the same kind of build coming from this match. We do see him doing a 15 hatch though again.
That's interesting.
So it'll be interesting to see if Griffith decides to go for the same build, or if he wants to do like a 2 racks, try and pop out that thing.
I definitely think a 2 racks would be good, but the whole point of this build is a macro kind of style game.
Mm-hmm.
And even though if he scouts it, I bet you if he throws down a bunker and it completes, then he may apply pressure, but he is still saving.
Yeah, so he does have 400 minerals, and there goes the command center. So same kind of build here coming from Griffith. Griffith does see that they are close positions, so and he does see the hatch first. So you'll probably see him try and do some kind of bunker fun. Maybe he'll try and leapfrog some bunkers around. That'd be interesting to see. In close positions on Metalopolis, you tend to see a lot of bunker leapfrog.
Yeah, absolutely. Like the fairly interesting game between Jinro and Idra. Jinro bunkered off the ramp and Idra immediately GG'd. In that position, especially if you go hatch first, there's a very, very slim chance you're going to come back if the player is any good.
Mm-hmm. So I do see this SCV kind of just going around. I'm not really sure why. He already knows where he is. Maybe he's just doing it so that he can prevent any kind of so he can just have an eye on any kind of expansions or hidden expansions.
And Anonymous is getting a blind spine crawler. That's very good. I would actually, if it was anybody but Griffith and if someone was doing a build other than this, I would say more than one spine crawler would be needed. But this is a fairly passive build at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Has Anonymous scouted? No, Anonymous has not yet scouted the extra command center, so he doesn't know for sure whether or not it's the same build. But
not yet.
He could probably make that assumption, and he's about to find out right now, actually, with these Zerglings running up the ramp. And there he goes. He does find out. Oh, don't have my production tab open. Okay, so we do see a Roach Warren coming down a lot earlier than before. So those Roaches will probably be very good against those early Marines. Before he gets those tanks especially.
Yeah, it'd be interesting if you can hit the perfect timing push to push out with the right number of Roaches. But already, I mean, the supplies are in Griffith's favor, the economy is grossly in his favor. He's already got his 3 racks up. However, he does have a miss rally down here, and he has a couple idle SCVs.
Uh-oh. Oh. There he goes.
But I definitely the only thing that I would have told Griffith to improve upon his play was to put down his bunker earlier, which he did, and he's even getting his expansion up earlier. I like that play a lot.
Yeah, because you wanna be able to transfer your SCVs down, and also because of the mules, you you end up mining out your main pretty fast, and you don't really want to do that. So at least transferring down to your natural lets you get as much mining time as possible out of your main and out of your natural.
Yep. See Griffith again scouting with the SCV on the bottom half of the map. He's definitely not wanting the Zerg to take a third.
Well, that SCV is actually on patrol. It's been on patrol since the whole beginning of the game.
Oh.
So
yes.
it's kind of just keeping a tab there. And also, you know what? It's good for seeing any kind of overlords coming around or mutalisks. You know, it's kind of like the same idea of overlord spotting for Terran. For Zerg. You put an overlord around just to see if there's any drops coming. So that's kind of probably what these are for. Spot any kind of mutalist play or anything of the sort. I mean, the lair is only just about started now. I mean, it's only a quarter of the way. So it seems like Anonymous went more of a economic build this time. And he's not quite teching up as fast as he did before.
Yeah, he definitely isn't as far behind at the moment. Harvester-wise he is, but supply, he's barely 5 behind, so this could turn out to be a much more interesting game.
Yep.
Griffith, I think, at least in my opinion, is being a little bit too passive. If he would push out, maybe when stim was done, or actually he already has stim done, so combat shields, just to force units, and then he can always fall back to his bunkers.
It's interesting to see that there's not much drop play involved with this build.
Well, you get your starports so late. You're spending a lot of money on economy early, and really, I don't think it's needed because basically, the issue against Zerg when they go 15 hatches, they're getting such an economical advantage. You need some way to punish them for it. But with this build, you're in such an economical advantage. You really need to turtle up and push out at the right time.
Yeah, it's kind of like the opposite of what you just said. You said the Zerg gets such an economic advantage, you need to punish them for it. In this case, it's the Zerg gets such an economic advantage that you need to get your own advantage.
Yep.
So he's being passive, like you said. Oh, so we do see he's moving out a little bit with these roaches, with these marines. He does encounter those roaches at the top, though. So we'll probably see one of these barracks flip over into a tech lab instead, just for the fact that he does see such a large amount of roaches there. The spire is down too, and the factory goes down as well. Second factory, actually. So the tanks, tanks do a nice amount of damage to those armored units, especially when they're unsieged. And we do see Anonymous making a push here with these Earthlings and these roaches. He is going to catch, a nice, perfect time siege, and he's just trying to micro these roaches back to his bunker and his siege tanks. He's probably gonna want to throw down a starport very shortly, just to be able to get a.
He actually does have the starport.
Oh, okay. So
he's switching it onto the reactor.
Right, because he's gonna want to get those medivacs out, because once he starts stimming with his units, they become weaker and weaker with every stim. Except Marauders, because they're always strong, right?
Correct.
Stim actually doesn't take HP away from Marauders, it gives them extra, right?
Yeah, pretty much. So, Anonymous is taking the gold farther away from Griffith, and Griffith does scout it. He has the Marine on the watchtower.
Okay.
And he's sending 5 Marauders down, so.
What he's probably going to want to do is, I would actually say to wait for it to finish, and then snipe it, because right now, if he snipes it and shows that he knows it's there, Anonymous can just cancel it. But Griffith doesn't even want to let him even try it, because he doesn't want to have to forget about it or something.
Yeah, is definitely just... Yeah, and there's the cancel. Kills the drone. That's a small advantage there. There are mutas on the field now. Looks like there's only 4. And now we're just seeing Griffith power up. He's got the economic advantage. The army advantage just skyrockets. He's 35 ahead.
He's got about 12 things in his production tab, including Infernal Pre-Igniter as well as infantry weapons. And I think our mechanical weapons just finished.
But there is Nidus play, which there's a Nidus in the back of Griffith's base. He did not scout.
That is a very, very nice move by Anonymous. This is going to be very dangerous. There are about 25 roaches in the back of Griffith's base, and there's not really much he can do about it. But he looks like he's just going to try and push forward instead of defend it. What he's going to want to do is try and push into the main of Anonymous. I was going to say, and take out the Nidus before he can transfer back. But he does take out the natural base. Yes, takes the natural out, and it seems like he's pulling all of his SCVs to his third base, just to kind of prevent any kind of damage that those roaches can do.
And there the roach is getting fried by the tanks. It's base trade with the Terran is never going to get.
Yeah, and it looks like this is going to be it for, yes, Anonymous does GG, and that was it was a risky move and smart at the same time, I guess, for Griffith to actually pull away his army to go to fight the, what do you call it? Sorry.